Hey, kia ora everyone, it's Chris and EOS here from Bayleys. So this is our monthly update of what's been happening in the housing market. Now we're at quite a cool little location today, so we're at the show suite for Limeburners Bay. Now EOS, tell us a little bit about Limeburners Bay.
Yeah, sure. This is coastal family living at Limeburners Bay, new master planned community in Hobsonville in Auckland. Range of brand new homes available right now.
So a real busy little area around here, bunch of new homes being delivered. We've got some homes available right now if you wanted to pop down and check them out as well. EOS, getting into the news this month. So we've had the latest data from the Real Estate Institute.
Yeah.
What did we find over the last month?
Yes, REINZ released the latest data for February 2026. So in total, 6,500 homes were sold during Feb, which is quite normal for a Feb period. Price got a slight uptick, but we can see the overall trend is still sideways. The key driver for the market is still the high stock for the market. So Real Estate Data called NZ released the latest data for Feb. As of the end of February, in total, 36,000 homes for sale at the moment, which is still quite high.
Yeah, and then in the interest rates in the background, they're a lot lower than 12 months ago, but they have come up recently. So they're now sitting mid-4s to mid-5s, depending on the term. And if you look at the outlook for the market, like most of our agents are reporting pretty neutral conditions at the moment. Price pressure isn't really there, mainly because of that reasonable supply of homes for sale. We think prices will be pretty flat over the coming months, although the Middle East conflict is adding a little bit of uncertainty, which we'll talk about in a minute. But so next up, we've got our sales snapshot for the month. So we've got a couple of sales around the median house point or the midpoint in the market. So EOS, do you want to kick us off with an example for New Zealand?
Sure. So my first example is One Spencer Street in Anderson Bay, Dunedin. Heart and soul style and comfort. 3 beds, 1 bath on 520 square meters. Sunny position and ducted heat pump system to keep you warm during the winter. Marketed by Alice Munro and A.B. Cochran from Bayleys Dunedin. It's sold for $810,000.
Yeah, and so that was right around the midpoint for New Zealand. And then in Auckland, midpoint's about $1 million. You could get 15 Greg Place in Pukekohe. A home of timeless pride, 4 beds, 2 baths and 540 square meters. Classic brick and tile home located in prime position in Pukekohe. This was marketed by Mike Murphy, Patrick Murphy from Bayleys Pukekohe, sold for 1.02 mil. So 2 cool homes there that sort of give you a sense of the midpoint in New Zealand and then the midpoint in Auckland. Going into our deep dive for this month. So before we touch on the Middle East conflict that's been kicking off. Now, in fairness, we're only a couple of weeks in at the moment. I think we're just over 2 weeks. And what we're starting to see come out from the economists around the world is concerns around inflation and a view that that might translate to higher interest rates. We have seen some of the banks slightly bump their rates over the past week as well. In terms of the view beyond the sort of immediate future, it's quite hard because we don't know like how long the conflict will last. We don't really know how the economy is going to respond as well. Most of the commentators at the moment are looking at higher inflation maybe meaning higher interest rates for a period. But there's also a view that's been coming offshore, which is once you get past that very short-term period, there might be a period of lower interest rates if the economy gets slower. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of COVID, where if you recall back right at the start, there was all sorts of different views around what might happen, and then it actually transpired in a completely different way. So our sort of working assumption at the moment is that hopefully the situation just de-escalates and then the market continues to move on. So that's what we think should happen. But obviously there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment, so one to track. And then finally, EOS, we've got Property of the Week. So mate, what do you have for us this week?
So this week I got 130 St. Stephens Avenue in Panay, Auckland. Exquisite 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom on 800 square meters, Hampton-style residence in blue chip panel. Stunning renovation with open plan dining, contact floor dining from Bayleys Remarua.
Yeah, then for me, I'm in Christchurch, so I've got 1 bar 88B, Hino Street in Fendleton. Architectural designer residence, 4 beds, 3 baths on 500 square meters. Brand new residence designed by Tobin Smith. It's got a modern aesthetic, it's got internal brickwork, timber and extensive glazing. If you want to learn more about this one, contact Adam Hazelwood or Jessica Phibbs from Bayleys Mirrorvale. With that said, we'll wrap up today. So thanks very much to Jeff for hosting us today. Cheers, EOS.
Cheers.
Sweet, and we'll see you guys next week. Ciao.